Okay, so you're probably wondering how we got here. It's story time, I guess you can say. Around January, late January, is when we first finished the Mintia EK, right? So we had the car all set up, dialed in, ready to take the scuba circuit. So we made the trek over to scuba over on the Kanto side, Tokyo side. It's like 7 hour drive, it's kind of a rough one, but we had a tow trailer, so it was fine. Like it was me, Yasu, and our friend Yuma, who was supposed to be driving the Mintia EK that day. We all rode in a tow trailer together, and then went to scuba, had a full track day. And on that trip, me and Yasu had a plan. We were gonna go pick up an EK9 that I had in storage for probably about 4 years now. Like it's been a car that has been in our possession for a lengthy amount of time. He also did a lot of work to it. He did the mode parfume fenders and then put the 17-inch T's on it. It was a really nice car. I'm sure you guys have seen photos of it. I'll throw some photos up for you guys for reference, but it's not a car that you guys saw a lot because we just never took it out. It was like a car that was kept for me here, semi-restored, had a lot of OEM brand new stuff that Yasu had collected over time. It was just an idea to have a really nice EK9 for me that I could have shipped to the US and that I could bring out to shows and stuff and that I can enjoy, It was like a super nice car. I would value that thing probably around like 50K maybe, just because of that's how clean that chassis was, right? So a couple years ago, we sent the car over to Tokyo to one of our friends, who I will not name because not very happy with how everything went down with that one. But the car was in storage, and it was set to be shipped over right before COVID. So the paperwork had been done already. It had been sitting in storage waiting to get shipped. All he had to do was take the car to the port to get the car shipped out. Just never did it. COVID came along. All the shipping rates went crazy. Like, you couldn't get anything shipped over to and from without paying crazy amounts. So you know what? I didn't say anything. We just left it in the storage because eventually it was going to get shipped, right? A couple years after COVID, this year, me and Yasu were just like, yo, we're kind of fed up with this whole thing. Let's just get the car out of there. So we called the guy and we're like, hey, we're going to be in Tokyo anyways. We're going to come grab the car. We want the EK9 back. Like, no questions asked, just give us the car back. We're just gonna drive it back since we had Yuma driving. And we had 3 people. So I'm not really familiar with the roads. I don't trust myself driving that long of a distance in unfamiliar territory. So Yuma was gonna drive it back, and me and Yasu would be in the tow trailer taking the Mintia car back. There's footage that I captured during that trip when we went to Daikoku and stuff, after we picked up the EK9. Just because we thought it would be really cool to have the Mintia car and the EK9 at Daikoku so we can get like videos and photos of it. It was a late night. We probably shouldn't have extended ourselves that much because we were already pretty tired because the days leading up to scuba, we were grinding on the Mintia car, trying to get it done and ready to go to the track. So we didn't get a whole lot of sleep, any of us. So we should have took some rest, but we tried to tough it out, and that's how bad things happen. So going from scuba to Chiba area to pick up the EK9, that's an additional 2 hours. In total, going from Chiba area back to Osaka without rest is 9 hours. And 9 hour driving after a long day at the track and days leading up to not getting any sleep sounds like a disaster. And sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you meet certain disaster, and that's exactly what happened. Maybe around an hour and a half before we got back to Osaka area, Suzuka area, where Suzuka Circuit is, I fall asleep. Yasu's still driving, and then we make a rest stop. Everyone seems okay, like we walk out, get a drink, get a stretch, and then there's a lot of rest areas because that's just how Japan is on highways. There's not anything to see other than long stretches of road, and then you get rest areas here and there where you can stop, go to the restroom, get a drink, get food, whatever, They're open 24 hours. So we took a rest, and then we went back. We're like, yo, we're almost there, hour and a half. Let's just tough it out and get home. I doze off for a little bit. I wake up, Yasu calls me, and he's like, hey, Yuma got into an accident. I guess he fell asleep, and then I was like, what? It didn't sound too bad, right? Because, like, maybe he just kind of, like, dozed off or something, and then, like, maybe nicked the guardrail. I don't know. Hopefully nothing bad had happened. but we were 25 minutes ahead of him already. And so we had to turn around. And if you know Japanese highways, the exits are not close together. So we had to turn around and look for him. And then we were in contact with him. He was pretty aware. He called Yasu back and was like, hey, the car doesn't move anymore. So we're like, okay, it's pretty bad then. So by the time we got to him, that's the footage that you guys saw. Yep, it's pretty bad. Huh? Transmission's fine? Yeah. I've never seen a door split like this. Look, how did did he climb out of the car? He had to climb out the window. He climbed out the window. Because there's no way he can't get to the other side. The door was open. Guys, I just want to let you know that this is how strong TE37s are. The T is so strong that it bent the whole fucking roof of the car. Oh boy. Thank God he's alive. I don't think he realizes how close he was to death, because most people will not survive that crash. He literally fell asleep and was so asleep that he woke up to the airbag deploying into his face. The good thing about that car is that it's a full interior car. It's not a good race car. It was never meant to be a race car. So the airbags were equipped, it deployed, he woke up, he hit, like there's the little gutter area next to the retaining wall on the highway and then the road. And the moment he hit that little dip, it pushed the wheel into the firewall. And thank God that we had TEs on that car, because those TEs are so strong, it probably saved his life. Because the impact of that wheel, the wheel absorbed all the impact. And the impact was so hard that the car bent this way. So the roof, if you guys will see in the footage, I'll show you guys more of it. The whole car is bent this way. The wheels pushed into the firewall. And he not only was like on the driver's side, on the right side, he took the brunt of the impact. He had to crawl out of the passenger side window. And while he was crawling out, he cut his whole face up just because of all the glass and everything. When we saw him, he was pretty shaken up and pretty sure he had a concussion, but he was alive. I think the only reason he survived was because the wheel was strong enough to absorb most of the impact for him. And he was so asleep that his body was loose, so he didn't tense up and try to brace for impact. So his body was just loose on impact. So he was still very like loose, and like thankfully he was alive. He's all bloody. I don't want to show you guys too much of it, but that's where we're at now. And we pulled the car off the highway with the tow truck. We had to drop the Mintia car off at a rest area. We left the car there, and then we went back, dragged that EK9 up that tow truck because it didn't move anymore. The suspension was broken. The front end was so collapsed that the brake pedal had kind of like bent into the gas pedal, and then like nothing about that car was salvageable in terms of getting the car to move. So we dragged that thing up the tow truck, and then we hopped back into the truck, went back to Osaka. He went straight to the hospital, and then we just went to sleep just because we were so worn out. And it was such a long series of days that thankfully he survived. We all survived, but the car, it did not survive. It was destroyed. We're all pretty bummed about it just because it shouldn't have happened that way, and like the car shouldn't have been in Tokyo that long anyhow, so it just seemed like kind of a waste. How did he survive? Yeah, the floor pushed the gas pedal on top of the brake pedal.
Yeah.
Say when it's not your time, it's not your time. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never seen a door split like this before. So needless to say, that EK9 was pretty close to being in near perfect condition. I love that car. Never got to see it that much just because it was stored away for so long in Tokyo. Never even got to enjoy the car. It had Exceed big brakes, Mode Parfum fenders, front double staggered TEs, Exceed lip, wing, full interior, low miles. The car was perfect, but things happened, and that car was gone. So I was just gonna be like, you know what? It's fine. It's just a car. As long as he survived, right? And like that's how it is. Like things happen, and then a few days later, our friend Shogo contacts us and was like, hey, I got a shell here. You guys can have it. It's a Zenki EK9 shell, silver, it's a VSM Vogue silver metallic car. Literally just a shell. It didn't have suspension, nothing. He bought the chassis to eventually build it. He never got around to building it. He had it stored away in his garage and he was like, hey, just take it. And Yasu was like, hey, we have the shell you want to see what you want to do with it, and should we just build the car for Weekfest? And I was like, hey, why not? You know, let's take this opportunity to do something. We'll salvage whatever we can off the car, which was not a whole lot. Like even the cars were all damaged because the seats were bent. Like I've never even seen anything like I've never seen that type of impact on EK. And like, dude, no cage, seatbelt, full airbag deployment, crawling out of the window. Dude, it was bad. But we had this shell. It was clean shell, silver shell. I didn't want to keep it silver. I really like VSM cars, but I just feel like there's a lot of them here now. And at that time, I was also looking for an FL5. I really wanted an FL5 Type R, but I wanted a red one. And as it turns out, it was impossible to find a red one in the US. So I was like, you know what? Since Yasu's already getting a red one, I'll just settle for whatever FL5 I can find. And as you guys can see, I eventually did get one. But I knew I wasn't going to be able to get a red FL5. In the US, I think the red is called Rally Red, which is a really lame name, I think, for our color. In Japan, and I think elsewhere in the world, it's called Flame Red. And I was like, hey, if I can't get a red FL5, I'll just paint this EK9 red. Like, why not? Let's do something interesting with it. Let's paint this EK9 the flame red from the new FL5, and then it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? So I'll have my FL5 and I'll have an EK9 that's the red that I wanted for, balance. So Yasu was like, hey, that's a cool idea. And then ideas started coming together. I was like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. I wasn't able to document much of the build because I was back at home in the States already. And Yasu was busy with his crew just hammering away on the car just because we have to get the car done for Weekfest, which is tomorrow. Setup is tomorrow. The car is pretty close. We're gonna try not to rush too much of it. Everything's coming together, and these are the bits and pieces that I have so far of the car coming together. And then I'll show you guys what the finished product is when it's done at Weekfest. It should be a pretty fun debut. The car has some unique touches to it, like very, very weird Joey touches, I guess you can say. Not very traditional. I don't know if people will really like some of the stuff that I have done to it, but I've never had a chance to build an EK9 like this, so let's see where it goes.
What? Where?
Right there.
What? Shit. So small.
Oh, it's a big box.
Yeah, the brand new for the header.
Yeah.
Yeah, I first time bought the brand new the header.
Yeah, always use
Yeah.
one.
To put this car in the build. That was the first time.
So it's Tuesday, and this is the current status of the car. Still lots to go. Some stuff needs to be painted, but the engine is in. You have the B16B in here. Brand new Toyota header. We're just trying to put as much new stuff as we can. Brand new OEM bolts, everything. Like a full resto mod. Brand new OEM valve cover. Move an oil cap. Got a Spoon Sports throttle body. Polished inside. But yeah, it's coming along. We still have some time, but also running out of time. The inside's been done for a while. This is a EK9 race base, so it's an N1 model. And then we put a Mugen cage in here, the bolt-in cage. It has a badge over there too. And color matched everything. It's gonna be pretty bare in here. Before it was painted, yes, it went and stitch welded the entire car, so I don't know if you can tell because it's been grinded down a lot, but most of it, I think you can still see. But yeah, the whole car is stitch welded, even the engine bay. We just put the glass in this morning. And you can see some of the stitch welding over here. But yeah, it's coming along. Nobody knows about this car, so going to be kind of a surprise debut at WeekFest. Front bumper over here. Got the license plate hole shaved. Toku sanding down the carbon fiber hood so we can get it painted. Decided to paint match everything. Don't need to show the carbon. I'm gonna leave the underside carbon exposed though so you can see it. Doors are all done. Yeah, so a little stress. We've been doing this plenty of times before, so things are coming together. Got the fenders all fixed and sprayed. Side skirts here. And then this is the top half of the new Exceed front lip, the new two-piece front lip. It's gonna have an optional bottom end that's gonna be a little bit bigger than the original Exceed lip, but it's gonna be two sections now. And right here, we have a Mugen Airbox 4B series that I decided to have color match to the car just because it needed to be repaired anyways, and I was like, let's just try something different. Let's just paint match the airbox to the car and see how it looks. And then we put the new Mugen sticker on it, and then we cleared over it too, so it looks like it's OEM, I guess, or original from Mugen, even though it was a completely different sticker. It's just like a modern bespoke taste on a classic Honda Mugen item, I guess you can say. I don't know what it's gonna look like when it's all in the car, but hopefully it looks good. We'll see. For the rear bumper, we have a OEM CTR lip, but I wanted the cutouts done on the bottom. Just something subtle, but still something custom, you know, just to make it look a little bit different. We have a friend who has very similar cutouts on her EK9, and I really love the look of it. Hers has an extra cutout on the lip area, like on the bottom rear lip here, but I decided to keep it a little bit more clean and leave the OEM CTR lip intact, and then just do the 3 cutouts in the lower portion of the bumper. Got an Exceed big brake kit here. Decided to go two-tone, so we did anodized red top hats and then silver brake calipers with the black Exceed letters, just to give it a, you know, custom look. Kind of inspired by the old VIP cars where they used to do two-tone brakes. So we're gonna do that for this car. Mostly everything is new, as you can see. When we got the chassis, it was bare, like it didn't have suspension or anything, so we had to piece everything together. So we decided just to do everything brand new, or whatever we could still get brand new, and yeah, that's where we're at. You can see all the brand new hardware here. I don't even know most of this stuff is still available. Brand new distributor cap. Clutch slave cylinder. Some hybrid racing stuff, because you gotta support. They were very helpful in giving us whatever we needed. Thankfully, we didn't ask for that much. Just the bare necessities. Hot sport mounts, a ride wire harness. Huge thanks to Ryan, as usual. So these are the seats that are going to be going into the EK9. These are limited edition Autobox Brid seats. Brid Vios 3, and shrimp red. Like a weird color that they came out with a couple years ago. How many sets?
The 100 limited.
Oh, there's only 100 limited. And
Yeah, that's just the 50 set.
oh, 50 sets?
Yeah.
And Yasu has 1 pair. So it'll be a good match for the EK9 since we have a red and black theme going. So pretty cool. Really rare seat. Here's for you guys have never seen a shrimp red Vios 3 before. That's so interesting. Some Japanese Dominoes, since we don't have time to go out and eat. The tiny pizzas.
It's the same.
Yeah? Okay, so some progress updates. The rear bumper is on the car now. Now you guys can see what the cutouts look like on the car. And then we have a carbon fiber hood that we painted. This is a brand new carbon hood. I told them just paint it because why not? I think it just looks better, everything one color. And then since we're showing off the new Exceed lip that's carbon on the bottom, I think it makes more sense that we have more attention on the lip instead of the rest of the car. So that's why it makes more sense to paint the hood. Everything's one color, so your eyes are automatically directed at the carbon piece on the bottom, which is the new Exceed front lip made by this guy here. It's running away. Shit, there's no space. But yeah, this is where we're at now. The front bumper's on. Brand new Exceed 2-piece lip. This is the carbon version. We just painted the top piece. It's much more aggressive looking, I guess you can say. It's a little bit thicker, the bottom base. But yeah, so the base is a little bit thicker. The middle section is a little bit shorter. It's like a revised design from the original one. But yeah, this is how it's looking right now. Brand new OEM front bumper. The grille still needs to be painted. The headlights going on. Just buttoning things up. The door needs to go back on the other side too. And the mirrors and everything, but so far so good. One more late night, I think we'll be good to go. Hopefully nobody falls asleep tomorrow while they're driving. Look at the mess here. I don't understand how you can... This is a chaos here. But yeah, this is where we're at now. Things are coming together. Dashboard is in. You can see the base was painted also, and it had to be cut. It's so you can fit the cage through the dash. It's not a Ryan Dare cut, but it's a Mugen cage, so the cut is slightly different anyway since the cage itself is much tighter on the chassis. So that piece is painted there now, like a matte black. Glasses in, wings painted. Yeah, so I know a lot of people are gonna not like this idea that much, but I thought it'd be cool just to color match the top of the Mugen Air box because it was kind of scratched up anyways and it needed to be repaired. So I was like, let's try something different and color match it with the car. I fixed the bottom base, so it's still complete. Still has the badge there, so people don't go too crazy about it. But I think it works pretty well. Need to get the intake tube over there, and then the engine bay will be complete. A brand new OEM valve cover, Toyota header as I showed you guys already. Progress. You got these brand new OEM headlights here, still in the box. New grille. This is a combination of 2 different EK9s. It was the brand new insert for the grill. Nice. Yeah. Nothing beats OEM. But what do you guys think of the new front lip? I think it looks pretty cool with the carbon bottom piece. It gives people options too now, where they can separate it if they want to add a splitter or something. A lot more work that needs to go into this thing before the night's over, but yeah. Also have to get the car running too, but
just the wire.
Yeah, the wiring is going to take a long time, but everything looks good. We're going to name this car Nap Time just because that's the most expensive nap ever. Just throw away a 50K EK9, taking a nap, and then everything on this car is pretty much new. If it was new and available, we got it. So it's a very refined, a much more refined version of the other car, which is already really nice. Well, that's where we're at right now. Still got a long night ahead of us, but I think we're in pretty good shape. Overall, just trying to make the best of a bad situation, right? Lost out on an EK9, but nobody died. Lost a little bit of blood here and there, lost some money, but it is what it is. Things happen, right? Shit happens. And I can't complain. Like, now we have an opportunity to build something really cool and an opportunity for me and my friends just to make more memories, you know? Like, when we're old and gray, we can look back and laugh about how we lost out on a really nice car just to have an even better one. Like, I'm thankful to have some really good friends that were able to lend a helping hand and to make this all happen. It helps add to the story that I've been writing for the last 15, 16 years, you know? Like, I always tell my friends, like, whenever I do something cool, like, I'll add this to the resume, you know, the resume. And I think this is one of those things. I hope you guys like the car. By the time you guys see it next, it'll probably hopefully be complete and making its first public appearance at WeekFest Japan. I just want to wrap this video up now so that you guys can get a first look at it before it actually does make its first appearance. And, you know, I hope you guys enjoy what you're seeing. If not, it's okay too. I have faith that me and my friends know what we're doing here. And, you know, we're taking some calculated risks just to try something different. And I think it's going to work out. Just want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for the support. And we'll see you next time because we got some good stuff coming. And I hope you stick around for it.